Hey, this is Brian Crescenti with Polygon. We're here in New York City and we're getting ready to go speak with Shigeru Miyamoto, the famed game developer at Nintendo. We have three things we want to talk to him about. First, we want to ask him a little bit about the Wii U and its sales. Obviously, they know there's some problems, so we want to see what Nintendo has in store to try to fix those issues. Next, we want to talk to them a little bit about the games that they've decided to come out with the Wii U. So far, we're hearing a lot about titles we've already known, but when are we going to start seeing some of those original, innovative titles we've never heard of before? Finally, we want to talk to them about E3 and how that show is going to go for them because they have Nintendo Direct. Why do they need to even go to the show? They spend every week announcing new games and new products. So is E3 going to be lackluster for Nintendo, or do they have some big surprises still? I'm here with Shigeru Miyamoto, Senior Design Manager, is that right? Something like that. Game developer at Nintendo. He's made a lot of games, obviously. We're here to talk a little bit about some of the games you're working on now, which include Pikmin 3. But before we talk about that, I want to ask you about your shirt. You're wearing a Luigi shirt. Why Luigi? You have so many characters that you could have picked from. Why is this the year of Luigi and not the year of Donkey Kong or Mario?
Well, Luigi has been one of our characters for many, many years, but we've never really had much in the way of games that have Luigi in a starring role. And we do have a number of Luigi titles coming out this year. The first is going to be Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, and then later on in the year we're going to be releasing New Super Luigi U, which is add-on content or downloadable content for New Super Mario Bros. U that adds all new levels featuring Luigi. And we have a number of people internally who love the Luigi character and want to create Luigi games, and so we just decided to make this the year of Luigi.
So looking at the games that you have coming out and the fact that you have the two systems, has Nintendo thought at all about taking some of those games and coming up with a way to do cross-play between the 3DS and the Wii U?
Within Nintendo, we've been giving a lot of thought to this, and we are looking at different ways to leverage the 3DS connection to Wii U, how we can share that data, and how we can allow people to sort of take advantage of those types of connectivity features. And obviously back in the days of GameCube and Game Boy Advance, we had games that leveraged connectivity between those two systems. The problem then, of course, was that you had some people who might have both systems, but many people didn't. And so the connectivity features were something that couldn't be enjoyed by all players. And that was really our driving focus with creating Wii U and the gamepad, was enabling that second screen to be something that was a part of the system itself, so that people were able to have the full experience there.
The Wii U, when it was announced, there were a couple of features that you guys talked about that you haven't quite created games to take advantage of. One is the near-field communication, the NFC, and the other is the idea of having maybe two gamepads on a system. How is that going? Do you guys have games in development that may touch on either of those things?
Right now, with NFC, that's a feature that everybody who owns a Wii U can take advantage of. So that's where we're putting our priorities right now. But with regards to the two gamepad functionality, from a gaming system standpoint, we are developing games that would have that capability. In the future, perhaps when we get closer to, I guess, an environment where everybody or a large majority of people would have two gamepads, that might be a time when we then look at how we can leverage a system of that nature.
So Nintendo Direct is a really neat idea. You're showing off a lot of things way before E3. Do you have other surprises in store for E3?
Well, it used to be that we would save many of our announcements for E3 and announce them at the show. But what we've seen over the recent years is that there are a number of different ways and a number of different times when we have more opportunity to make those types of announcements. So I can't today make any promises that what we're going to do at E3, but I do think that this in particular is going to be a year where we're seeing more regular announcements from Nintendo about what's coming. But where we do see tremendous value in E3 is it's a place where people can come and they can actually get their hands on and try the software that we've been talking about. So I think that's what people can really look forward to at E3.
Pikmin 3 looks amazing. I'm very happy you're making it. I think a lot of people are. It's neat because I think when the original Pikmin came out, that was a title that a new original title from you in a time that we hadn't had an original title from you for a while, and that was for the GameCube. It I think helped the GameCube a lot. With Pikmin 3 wrapping up and getting ready to come out, is there anything you're working on that's original and new from you for Wii U?
Within the room in which I work, there are a number of people who are very passionate about wanting to do new things and do different things. And in fact, we do have a small team that's been formed and is working on new ideas, and hopefully we'll be able to share those with you at a time when those ideas have taken more concrete form. We obviously are interested in bringing out new ideas, but at the same time, we also have our hands full with trying to bring many of our popular franchises to new systems. And so the struggle for us then becomes, how do we find the balance in there and try to deliver the content that people want while also surprising them with something new. Looking, at, for example, Animal Crossing. Animal Crossing is a game that we've been making for essentially 10 years now in different iterations. And with the latest version, which released in Japan last holiday and is going to be coming to North America this year, we really finally feel like we've fleshed out that Animal Crossing idea into sort of the definitive version of that game. And so in game development, there are a couple of different approaches you can take. And one is to take the franchises that already exist and continue to develop those and develop deeper content for them and evolve those franchises in new ways. And you see this happening not only with Nintendo games, but also, for example, with something like Madden and sports franchises. And so when the question comes up of what new is going to come from Nintendo, oftentimes that question is really meaning, what's the next character after Mario, or what's the next character after Pikmin? Whereas from my perspective, we approach it not from, what is the next character, but really, what is there within the sphere of video games from which we can create new play structures? And in some cases, it may be that those new structures will use existing franchises. So we're focused more on the play and the interaction rather than necessarily on the specific character as the IP.
So I know we're running out of time, but one last question. Why do you think the Wii U isn't selling more than it is right now? And are there any things that you think that Nintendo or you could do to help improve those sales?
Wii U のできることっていうのを充実さそうと思うと
Well, I think there are a couple of things that we can look at with Wii U, and one is we developed the system itself and in conjunction obviously with the gamepad in a way that will allow it to do so many more different things than the systems that we've created in the past. And one area where we think we still have a lot of improvement to make is in enhancing its ability to allow users to use it for many different functions. And that's something that we're continuing to work on and that we anticipate to see some improvements in by this summer. And then the second is, of course, as I've been talking about, is really bringing forth those software experiences that are leveraging the features of Wii U and leveraging that gamepad and bringing those to consumers. And again, I think that's also an area where, as we get into the summer months, we're going to start seeing a steady flow of software that's going to be very compelling and very fun for people. And I think that those are the areas where we can make our improvements.
確信を持っています。